Well, for you guys, it's going to be the afternoon. For me, it's the evening right now because I am in Madrid. But still, we are here to bring you live coverage as President Trump awards the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, posthumously to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's wife, Erika Kirk, his widow, will be accepting the award on Charlie Kirk's behalf. This is going to take place at the White House, and we are going to have live coverage of it. It is supposed to start at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. You can see we have a clock on the screen right now, and we will be taking your comments and questions on the air. So I appreciate you guys joining us, and I want to thank our mods here. Ruth Krafasi and Beth Mythical are moderating over on YouTube right now. Thank you so much. Also, thank you to our Twitch mods. Matthew Kohai 3 is there modding on Twitch. By the way, speaking of Twitch, thanks for subscribing. Have a Pringle. And also thanks for the memberships. Kerry Poteet, thanks Kerry so much. And thanks to our member Dude McGuybro. And also Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha moderate for us over on X. And thanks to our Facebook mods as well. Excuse me. Hold on. Charlotte Webb is modding. Shannon Davis Hughes. Margaret Riley. And thanks Kristen McConnell Gates and Susan Priest Bookner for subscribing on Facebook. Also, thank you to Lucia Rizzo, who wishes Charlie Kirk a happy birthday. I think he would have been 32 today. I just started coughing right when I came on the air. Oh my gosh. I got to hydrate a little bit. I had a cold like the first week and a half I was here. And I'm a lot better now. I'm probably 90% better. Okay. I think I'm okay. Now. Better now. Oops, I'm hearing two of myself. We don't want that to happen. Where is that coming from? Oh, I know where it's coming from. Okay. Right, hold on. Now. All right. So you can see Trump honoring Charlie Kirk with Presidential Medal of Freedom on what would be his 32nd birthday. Thank you to Lucia Rizzo. Again, we will have live coverage of this ceremony for you. AP says President Trump today is posthumously, that means after he died, awarding America's highest civilian honor to Charlie Kirk, the assassinated activist who inspired a generation of young conservatives and helped push the nation's politics farther to the right. The ceremony coincides with what would have been Kirk's 32nd birthday. It comes just over a month after the Turning Point USA founder was fatally shot while speaking to a crowd at Utah Valley University. You know, that shooting was a month and 4 days ago. It feels like longer ago. Wasn't that long ago. I mean, I guess a lot has happened since then. Our viewer, hold on, I was going to read a comment here, and the comment flew by. Victoria Estrida says this is a very important award for our country. Thanks to KB2, by the way, I appreciate that, KB2. The AP says, AP says, as I was just reading you, you'll see it in a second, in a sign of Charlie Kirk's close ties to the administration, he will be the first recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom in Trump's second term. The president also spoke at Charlie Kirk's funeral in September, which we covered. It was the memorial service, calling him a great American hero and martyr for freedom, while Vice President Vance and Kirk's wife Erika accompanied his body to Arizona on Air Force Two. Oh, Trump posted on social media about this. Let me show you that. So you can see here, Trump said a couple hours ago, just got back from the Middle East. What a point in time it was. The crowd for Charlie Kirk's Presidential Medal of Freedom presentation is so big and enthusiastic that I moved it out to the new Rose Garden, where everyone can see the Presidential Wall of Fame and the Palm Court renovation. Enter through main south entrance. The Rose Garden renovation, it has a hard flooring now on top of the grass to have events. So, is this going to be the first event with the renovated Rose Garden? We're going to talk about the history of this award. Victoria Streeta says the White House is looking so beautiful. Billy Joe says he ruined the Rose Garden. Evelyn in Maine says there have been other events out there. I don't know that we've covered an event at the renovated Rose Garden. Jolie says, I believe he already hosted a dinner with all his cabinet members in the Rose Garden. You know, I remember there being a White House dinner, but we didn't cover it. So. 43 minutes until it's supposed to start. We'll see if it starts on time. The Presidential Medal of Freedom, says AP, was established by President John F. Kennedy in 1963 for individuals making exceptional contributions to the country's security. Excuse me. The Presidential Medal of Freedom was established by President John F. Kennedy in 1963 for individuals making exceptional contributions to the country's security or national interests, or to world peace, or being responsible for significant cultural endeavors or private and public initiatives. The event follows Trump returning to the U.S. in the pre-dawn hours after a whirlwind trip to Israel and Egypt to celebrate a ceasefire agreement in Israel's war with Hamas in Gaza that his administration was instrumental in brokering. We covered that. Trump has awarded a string of presidential medals going back to his first term, says AP, including to golf legend Tiger Woods, ex-football coach Lou Holtz, and conservative economist Arthur Laffer, as well as to Yankees Hall of Famer closer Mariano Rivera and conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh. This term, President Trump has also announced his intentions to award the medals to Rudy Giuliani, the former New York mayor and a close former advisor, and Ben Carlson, who served Trump's first term Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Kirk founded Turning Point USA in 2012. Trump has praised Kirk as one of the key reasons he was elected. But Kirk's politics, says Associated Press, were often divisive. AP says that Kirk sharply criticized gay and transgender rights while inflaming racial tensions. That's what AP says. As an example. I actually want to get you some more information on this actual medal. I think that might be helpful myself. Oh, I have a list of recipients here. I have the White House page, and I have the National Archives page. I have a list of recipients. Let's talk about this medal. You can see here, this is the White House. Now this is interesting. This is an archived page from the Obama administration. The White House, President Barack Obama, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So this is an archived Obama administration page. It says the Presidential Medal of Freedom is the nation's highest civilian honor presented to individuals who have made especially meritorious contributions to the security or national interest of the U.S., to world peace, to cultural or other significant public or private endeavors. So, this is actually an interesting comparison. This is an old Obama era page, and you can see these are 2016 recipients. So to name some of them, in 2016, the medal, among others, went to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Ellen DeGeneres, Robert De Niro, Bill and Melinda Gates, Frank Gehry, Tom Hanks, Michael Jordan, Maya Lin, Lorne Michaels, I'm not naming everybody, Robert Redford, Diana Ross, Vin Scully, Bruce Springsteen, Cicely Tyson. Then in 2015, under Obama, here's some more of them. Shirley Chisholm, Yogi Berra, Gloria Estefan, Barbara Mikulski, Willie Mays, Barbara Streisand, Steven Spielberg, James Taylor, Stephen Sondheim. Then there's ones from 2014, Tom Brokaw. Different types of people. Bill Clinton got it in 2013. Ben Bradley, Ernie Banks, Loretta Lynn, Sally Ride, Dean Smith, kind of a bunch of Oprah Winfrey. So all different kinds of people. That was just, hold on a second here. That was just in the Obama administration. But it gives you a bit of a sense of the range of people who have gotten this. You can actually go to Wikipedia and see the list of the Presidential Medal of Freedom recipients. Oh, and here's a picture of the medal from Wikipedia by Toma2552 on Wikipedia. What I should do is get this picture in a better place so you can see it. By Toma2552 on Wikipedia. Here is the picture from Wikipedia of the medal. And let's look at some of the winners. Hang on a moment. Hold on a moment. I got to do one thing here. Hang on a moment here. We're going to be taking your comments here on the air. We're going to watch the ceremony. Ex-submariner says, how the blank does a film star win it when they are just doing their job acting? Well, cultural contributions are one of the criteria that allows someone to get the award. Fred Withrow thinks the people who have gotten the award is not a very esteemed list. Wikipedia says typically the medal is bestowed upon the recipient by the sitting president who has chosen them. President Obama awarded 118 Presidential Medals of Freedom, the most of any president, followed by President Bill Clinton with 89. Three people, Ellsworth Bunker, Colin Powell, and Ben Carson, are two-time recipients. Eight presidents have themselves received the medal, either posthumously, post-presidency, or prior to being elected. So you can go to this article. I'm actually going to post the link to this article on Wikipedia, and you can see all the recipients here, which is helpful. So from Kennedy onward. And if we go, how about Trump's first term? Oh, second term. So you can see here, awarded by Trump, second term. Charlie Kirk will be the first one to get it in Trump's second term. He has already also announced Rudy Giuliani and Ben Carson. And for his first term, he awarded 24 in his first term. Miriam Adelson, Orrin Hatch, for example, Elvis Babe Ruth, Justice Scalia, Roger Staubach, Bob Cousy, Edwin Meese, Arthur Laffer, Mariano Rivera, Roger Penske, Jerry West, Tiger Woods, Lou Holtz, Rush Limbaugh, just to name some of them, Devin Nunes, Jim Jordan, Representative Jim Jordan, golfers Gary Player and Annika Sorenstam. And then Biden, he awarded 57 of them while president. Just to name a few, Simone Biles, Gabby Giffords, Steve Jobs, John McCain, Megan Rapinoe, Alan Simpson, Michael Bloomberg, Jim Clyburn, Phil Donahue, Medgar Evers, Al Gore, John Kerry, Katie Ledecky, Nancy Pelosi, Jim Thorpe, Michelle Yeoh, Jose Andres, Hillary Clinton, Michael J. Fox, Jane Goodall, Magic Johnson, Robert F. Kennedy, Bill Nye. These are the George Soros, Denzel Washington, Anna Wintour, Pope Francis. So a bunch of different types of people over the years have won this award, or have been given the award by the president, whoever that president was. Again, I'm going to post this link again in the chat because I think it's helpful. Patrick says, what a list. Hang on one more. Here is this. The Congressional Research Service actually has an article about it. Presidential Medal of Freedom. It is considered the U.S. government's highest civilian honor. It is often awarded by the president. It is often presented to individuals to recognize a lifetime of significant achievements in the arts, public service, science, or other fields. It was created by President Truman as the Medal of Freedom, and it was renamed by President Kennedy as the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The executive order in 1963 allows the president to recognize any person who has made an especially meritorious contribution and I guess it's up to the president, what qualifies as an especially meritorious contribution to 1, the security or national interests of the United States, or 2, world peace, or 3, cultural or other significant public or private endeavors. I mean, 3 is a pretty wide category, right? Basically, the president can give it to any person who has made what the president thinks is an especially meritorious contribution to basically any significant public or private endeavor. That's pretty much anything, right? If the president thinks a person has made an especially meritorious contribution to any significant, as defined by the president, public and private endeavors. Well, public and private endeavors basically just encompasses everything. So it's a quite wide range of possibilities as to who a president can give this to, according to the executive order. Now, Maelstrom, I'm not downplaying the award. How is it downplaying the award to literally read you the executive order? I'm just explaining what the executive order says. How presidents, what the award can be given for is a different question than who presidents have given it to. But I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm literally just explaining what the literal language of the award is. I think it's helpful to see that. Some of our viewers were like, why do actors get it? Well, I'm showing you why an actor can get it or a musician can get it. Because of the language of the executive order. While there is no formal procedure for nominating and selecting recipients of the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the president has wide latitude to award the medal to any person recommended to the president for award of the medal or any person selected by the president upon his own initiative. I mean, again, doesn't really get much wider than that. That's a 1970 executive order. Selections often reflect the president's political and personal interests, says the Congressional Research Service. Let me read you that again. Selections often reflect the president's political and personal interests. Between 1963 and 2025, it was awarded 673 times to 670 individuals. One of our viewers said, Sean, the producer, thinks it's basically the U.S. version of a knighthood. Casey Masterpiece thinks it's all lies and meaningless. Wall Street thinks it should only be given to people who strengthen democratic principles since it's called Medal of Freedom. Well, see, it's interesting. It's like the first two criteria are either the person has made a especially meritorious contribution to the security or national interests of the United States, that's one, or 2, world peace. But 3 is cultural or other significant public or private endeavors. It seems like the title of the award is connected more to 1 and 2 than 3. Riri Patton thinks Charlie promoted talking to each other and thus promoting peace. Weeby thinks Charlie Kirk empowered free speech. All right, anyways. I kind of like taking this deeper dive into what the award is all about. It's interesting to me. Hey, it looks like there's about 25 minutes till the ceremony is supposed to start. I can't guarantee it's going to start on time. You never know. Let me, hold on a second here. Yeah, we should get probably some video from the scene before it actually starts. As soon as I have any video from the White House, I'll let you know. Again, it's being held in the Rose Garden. Bubba says Trump is never on time. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it starts late, but maybe we'll have some fun video to show you from the Rose Garden. I mean, fun might be the wrong word. Some interesting video, I'm sorry, to show you from the Rose Garden. I do think fans of Charlie Kirk who are there will enjoy celebrating him, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying. Donna Lee says the concrete garden. All right, so hopefully in a few minutes we start getting some footage from the Rose Garden. And as soon as I have that, I will put that up there for you. And I'm going to take some more comments from you. We're going to talk about this some more. Give me one moment here. Hang on. I got to thank a couple people too. One moment. One moment. I appreciate you joining the stream. Oh, I should also mention the Venezuelan boat in case you haven't heard about it. I don't want to get too off topic, but I'll mention it. All right, so hey, a quick thanks. Thank you so much for your support. Cats Rule, thank you, who says, of course, those Holly weird celebs got medals. They were all the biggest donors to Obama's campaign. It's called quid pro quo. They never did anything good like Charlie Kirk. That's what Cats Rule says. Hey, Cats Rule, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Tallulah A. Bell, thanks for being a member. Monica S., thanks for being a member. Monica says we need peace all over the world. Also, I want to shout out our moderators who are here. I really appreciate them being here. We have moderating right now DeBears, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3, and Sarah on Twitch. On YouTube, we have Beth Mythical, Ruth Krafasi, and all of our other moderators over there. Thank you, and thanks TK, our member. On Facebook, we have our moderators over there like Margaret Riley, Kay Lowry Body, Charlotte Webb, Shannon Davis Hughes, thanks so much, Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha on X. Hopefully in a few minutes maybe even we'll get some video from the Rose Garden as we wait for this to start. That's what I'm hoping. In the meantime, let's talk more about this. Let's take some more comments. Hold on. Reuters has a headline about it saying, Trump to award Charlie Kirk top honor amid crackdown on left-wing groups. That's what the Reuters headline says. They say President Trump is set to award the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, to slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk at a White House ceremony on Tuesday. He was, Kirk, remember, was shot and killed on September 10th while speaking at an event at Utah Valley University, a killing that shocked the nation and reignited debates over political violence. Kirk's assassination, says Reuters, has become a rallying point for President Trump, who has used it to energize his base and push for sweeping measures by the state against what he calls radical left extremism. Reuters says the Trump administration has launched a broad crackdown on left-wing organizations, deploying multiple federal agencies, including the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and IRS, to investigate and disrupt groups accused of funding and organizing political violence. Reuters says that Trump has downplayed violence from right-wing groups. A key figure in conservative politics, Kirk mobilized young voters for Trump's 2024 campaign. His influence, says Reuters, was significant but divisive, marked by attacks on LGBTQ+ and civil rights. Supporters hailed him as a champion of free speech, while critics argue he helped mainstream extremist views. Both the House of Representatives and the Senate approved resolutions declaring today a National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. And look, as we've just gone over, I just showed you a bunch of recipients of this award from different presidents. The award was it was created by Truman, but then President Kennedy changed the name to the name we have now. But people of all different fields, of various fields, have been given this award by presidents. Often, as congressional research says, the award recipients often, what was the wording they used? Selections often reflect the president's political and personal interests. And really, the way the criteria are written for the award, the president can give it to anyone who makes an especially meritorious contribution to any significant public or private endeavor. So the president's got a lot of leeway to give it to somebody who they want to give it to. And different presidents have given it to different types of people, politicians, athletes, news journalists, musicians, actors, all kinds of people have gotten it. Victoria Estrida thinks the recipients represent America, all beliefs, all fields of endeavor. But President Trump has talked about this award. He posted about it a couple hours ago on True Social. Excuse me. Yeah, I got to mention the Venezuelan boat real quick before we get to once we have the video, I'm going to have to go to that. In case you didn't see it, really quick, I'm going to mention this really quick. Well, first of all, just in case you didn't see this, President Trump did say today, just got back from the Middle East, what a point in time it was. The crowd for Charlie Kirk's Presidential Medal of Freedom presentation is so big and enthusiastic that I moved it out to the new Rose Garden, where everyone can see the Presidential Wall of Fame and the Palm Court renovation enter through main south entrance. So this will be in the Rose Garden. And here is what President Trump posted about Venezuela. He said, under my standing authorities as Commander-in-Chief, this morning, the Secretary of War ordered a lethal kinetic strike on a vessel affiliated with a designated terrorist organization conducting narco-trafficking in the U.S. Southcom area of responsibility. The Trump administration has declared various cartels terrorist organizations. He said this boat was just off the coast of Venezuela Intelligence confirmed the vessel was trafficking narcotics, was associated with illicit narco-terrorist networks, and was transiting along a known DTO route, meaning designated terrorist organization, which I guess maybe is a cartel route or something, belonging to one of these cartels. The strike was conducted in international waters, and 6 male narco-terrorists aboard the vessel were killed in the strike. No U.S. forces were harmed. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And this, I think, is the 6th time under Trump, the U.S. military has destroyed a boat and killed the occupants. There have not been a lot of specifics given out about, well, not a lot of additional information given out, like evidence for the administration's claims about these boats in these attacks. I'll talk about that in a second, but just so you can see here, you can go to the president's social media, Truth Social, and see this. I believe the White House has posted it as well on their social media. But you can see it looks like a missile coming down from the sky and blowing up the boat. Now, this boat, I don't even know if it was good. At the time, it might have been just sitting there. It doesn't really look like it's moving at the time, but I can't tell. But it looks like it might just be sitting there at this moment in time. So I don't know if it stopped or it was just sitting there or what. Christy Claft, our viewer, said there's never evidence. Hang on a moment here. So just letting you know that that happened. Oh, let me just show you this real quick. Hold on a moment. Actually, very soon we should be getting video from the White House. So let me just make sure I don't have video from the White House. Hold on a moment. Hold on a moment. Do I have video from the White House yet? No, from Reuters. The White House itself is not live yet. I'm supposed to maybe get it from AFP. No, from AFP. So shortly, we should be getting video from the Rose Garden for this ceremony. As soon as I have any live video, I will show it to you. I did want to mention... Oh, I'm sorry, the 5th strike. The Washington Post, regarding that, the Trump announcing that the U.S. military has destroyed another boat today, that it says was a boat transiting drugs off the coast of Venezuela. The Washington Post says this is the 5th reported strike conducted by U.S. forces since September, targeting vessels the administration has alleged are carrying drugs. The operations have killed 27 people combined. At the same time, the administration has not publicly disclosed evidence verifying the vessels were carrying drugs, that the people aboard them were confirmed criminals, or what country they came from. Trump has argued he has the legal authority to conduct these strikes because he has determined the United States is in, quote, armed conflict with Latin American drug cartels. Some in Congress, which has the sole authority to declare war and has not formally authorized the use of force in this instance, some in Congress have pushed back against the president's claims. Lawmakers from both parties, says the Washington Post, have been frustrated with what they say is a lack of information from the administration about its objectives. U.S. Rights and Freedoms, our viewer, says, wild, another boat destroyed. So about 10 minutes till the ceremony is supposed to start. We're going to take your comments after the ceremony too. Let's see what you thought about it. And we are waiting to get the live video from the Rose Garden. It is not up there yet. There's some speculation that maybe the Trump administration might start conducting strikes against drug cartels located on land inside Latin American countries, like, for example, Venezuela or Mexico, which would be a huge deal. There's also some speculation that in the name of fighting against drugs, the Trump administration may try to take Maduro out of power in Venezuela, which would obviously be a huge deal. But unclear if any of that is going to happen. Bubba Sizemore thinks Trump is keeping America safe. Roberson says drug dealers are not enemy combatants. You can't go to war against organized crime. One of our viewers said, is that not considered a war crime? Kitsami. Oh, Kevin Graham mentioned there were hostage bodies released. Yeah, I had posted about this earlier, that that Hamas was supposed to release some bodies of hostages today. So let me just check and see if I have an update on that for you. Yes, the IDF said, I have it right here. Hold on. The IDF says, according to information provided to the by the Red Cross, 4 coffins of deceased hostages have been transferred to Red Cross custody. See this, the IDF? Oops. 4 coffins of deceased hostages have been transferred into their custody and are on their way to IDF and ISA forces in the Gaza Strip. Hamas is required to uphold the agreement and take the necessary steps to return all, they say, the hostages. So all of the bodies have not been returned yet. But I think there's supposed to be 28. Were there 4 returned yesterday? Am I remembering that right? I have to look that up. I'm sorry. Anyways, 4 of them have 4 coffins today. Now they have to confirm, I assume they have to confirm the contents of what's in those. Getting Hut says there were 4 yesterday. Hold on. Yeah, yesterday there were 4 bodies transferred. So now there have been 4 more coffins transferred by Hamas today. Okay, we're waiting for this ceremony to start. Do I have any video from the Rose Garden yet? That answer is right now, no. I think this is going to start late. I'm going to leave the award ceremony clock up because it's supposed to start at 4 Eastern time, but looks to me like it's going to start a bit late. Well, it's fine. We will discuss it and discuss other news here. Leading up to Charlie Kirk getting awarded posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, by President Trump. Oh, I should also see if there's any. Sometimes the White House press corps has some updates about how things are progressing with these events. So let's see if I see anything here. I don't think there has been anything posted. President Trump also answered some questions today, but maybe I'll show that. I don't know if he'll take questions at this thing. He actually might. So I don't necessarily want to show that now, but maybe if he doesn't take questions during this appearance, after the appearance, we can show you the Q&A he did a short while ago in the White House, taking questions about various things. But I don't want to get too distracted on that right now, because we're expecting any moment now to at least start to get video from the White House. You know, I was showing you before some of the previous recipients of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I was mentioning it's all kinds of people. You can actually find, there is, for some reason, it's still up there, there is the Obama White House archives page, which shows you, it appears to be all of the recipients of the Presidential Medal of Freedom given out in the Obama presidency years. So there's all types of people here. I mean, musician Yo-Yo Ma, baseball player Stan Musial, Bill Russell, basketball player, also President George H.W. Bush, Chancellor Angela Merkel, Congressman John Lewis, Maya Angelou, author, so Jasper Johns, artist, Warren Buffett, so John Glenn, I mean, there's all kinds of people. Bob Dylan, Gloria Steinem, Oprah Winfrey. I'll post a list to this. It's interesting because they have pictures of everybody. I'll post a link to this Obama site. And then again, I'll post the link to the Wikipedia article where you can see who got it from various presidents. The list of winners. Today, Charlie Kirk will be awarded it. In case you missed it before, as Wikipedia says, the other two people who President Trump said he's going to give it to in his second term so far are Ben Carson and Rudy Giuliani. And in President Trump's first term, he gave it to 24 medals. People like Miriam Adelson, Orrin Hatch, Elvis Presley, Babe Ruth, Justice Antonin Scalia, Roger Staubach, Bob Cousy, Arthur Lafleur, Ed Meese, Roger Penske, Mariano Rivera, Jerry West, Tiger Woods, just to name a few, Rush Limbaugh, Lou Holtz, Babe Didrikson, Zaharias, Devin Nunes, Jim Jordan, golfers Gary Player and Annika Sorenstam. Who got it posthumously? I would have to look that up. I would have to look it up. I don't know off the top of my head who all of them who have received it posthumously. In a minute, I'm going to take down my clock because I don't think it's going to be right. Some people have gotten it. I asked. This was an AI question. I asked Gemini AI. According to Gemini AI, some of posthumous recipients include people like Roberto Clemente, Lyndon Johnson, John F. Kennedy, Pope John the 23rd, Pope John 23rd. Steve Jobs, Jack Kemp, Babe Ruth, Elvis Presley, Robert F. Kennedy. That's just an example of some of them. Okay, do we have any video yet? So AFP seems to suggest that very soon they're going to have video from the scene. Let me remove the clock, since the clock is not really helpful for us right now. But very soon we might get video from the Rose Garden. Lulu says they don't just give it to anyone then. I mean, it's not given to like just random people, if you know. But at the same time, it's given to people that the presidents feel have. I mean, what the requirements are is that the president feel the person has made an especially meritorious contribution to any public or private endeavor. They name some specific endeavors, like the security or national interest of the United States or world peace or cultural endeavors. But it can be for any significant public or private endeavor. Hey, thank you, I Am Charlie, for your support. I really appreciate it. Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, will be accepting the award on Charlie Kirk's behalf. Oh, you know what I got to do? I don't know if like other people are going to be speaking at this. I mean, it's a whole event. It's at the Rose Garden. Okay. It is now 4:01. It was supposed to start at 4. It's obviously going to be starting late. Is he the youngest to receive it? I'm just going to have to look it up on the internet. I have no idea. It's an interesting question. Yak Diesel, thank you. Now, Yak, our viewer, thinks the medal no longer has any legitimacy, much like this administration, Yak says. Wow. According to Google AI, Gemini AI believes that the youngest living recipient was Simone Biles in 2022 at the age of 25. I cannot guarantee that's correct. Are they going to give it to Erika Kirk? No, it's going to Charlie Kirk today. Ethan Dart asked that. But she will be accepting it on his behalf. I'm assuming she'll speak. No video yet from the scene. Bill R. says she would accept it. Yes, as Marcia Heldon points out, Charlie Kirk would be 32 years old today. There's the headline from AP. This comes about a month and 4 days after Charlie Kirk was murdered in Utah, speaking to a crowd at Utah Valley University. And obviously we covered the Charlie Kirk assassination. We covered the memorial service. So I wanted to cover this as well. Bluesy Girl says, bless him in heaven with our Lord. Our viewer, Teresa says, still so heartbreaking. Our viewer, Dun Peel Hunter 87 says, Rudy Giuliani is supposed to get it as well. Let that sink in. I have my eye on where the footage is supposed to pop up. As soon as I get any video from beforehand, from the White House, I am going to put it on the screen for you. You can also get some background about the medal on Wikipedia. You know, the award is not limited to U.S. citizens. Occasionally, the medal award is further denoted as with distinction, says Wikipedia. There are no specific criteria for receiving the award with distinction. Executive Order 11085 simply specifies that the award should come in 2 degrees, and hence any decision to award the higher degree is entirely at the discretion of the president. In 2017, President Obama stated that receiving the award with distinction indicates an additional level of veneration in a class of individuals already held in the highest esteem. As of June 2024, the medal had been awarded with distinction at least 55 times, amounting to approximately 8% of all awards. A total of 673 have been given. I do not know if the award today will be given with distinction. Thank you, I am Charlie, who mentioned a couple of the 2020 recipients, which included Rush Limbaugh, among others. While we were on the air, President Trump posted something about China that I want to show you. While we were on the air. Here it is. President Trump says, I believe that China purposefully not buying our soybeans and causing difficulty for our soybean farmers is an economically hostile act. We are considering terminating business with China having to do with cooking oil and other elements of aid as retribution. As an example, we can easily produce cooking oil ourselves. We don't need to purchase it from China. That was posted about 30 minutes ago. Cravon says, do it. Give me one moment here. Just one moment. Again, at any moment, we're supposed to start getting footage from the Rose Garden. We do not have it yet. What article is on? Give me a second. Give me a second. Little background on soybeans for you. Hold on, I want to give you that. A little background on the soybeans issue. This is from about a week ago, from AP. President Trump is planning a significant package to U.S. soybean farmers to help them survive China's boycott of America's soybeans in response to Trump's trade war, even as the president says he is still seeking a soybean deal with Beijing. But farmers are worried that time is quickly running out to reach a deal in time to sell any of this year's crop to their biggest customer. Details of the aid package are unknown. This is an article from about a week ago from AP, but it would come as the world's two largest economies have been unable to reach a trade deal, and China has halted purchases of U.S. soybeans. China, the biggest foreign buyer of American soybeans for many years, last bought American beans in May and has not bought any for this harvest season, which began in September. Over a week ago, Trump wrote in a True Social post, "The soybean farmers of our country are being hurt because China is for negotiating reasons only, not buying. We've made so much money on tariffs that we are going to take a small portion of that money and help our farmers." President Trump also said, about a week or so ago, "I'll be meeting with President Xi in 4 weeks, and soybeans will be a major topic of discussion." The soybeans that China imports, largely for oil extraction and animal feed, are an important crop for U.S. agriculture because they are the top U.S. food export, accounting for about 14%. China's soybeans, the exports of U.S. soybeans to China normally accounts for about 14% of all farm goods sent overseas. It's a little confusing how that's written. Are they saying the ones that China buys accounts for 14%, or the ones exported in total account for 14%? Anyways, China has been buying 25% of all American soybeans in recent years. U.S. farmers in 2022-23 grew over $60 billion worth of soybeans. Just over half were exported. Illinois is the top soybean growing state, but Iowa, Nebraska, and Minnesota are also large producers. In Trump's first trade war with China, he gave American farmers more than $22 billion in aid payments in 2019 and nearly $46 billion in aid payments in 2020, although the latter also included aid related to COVID pandemic. So that's a little background on soybeans. But again, as we wait for this award ceremony, President Trump posted today saying, "I believe that China purposefully not buying our soybeans and causing difficulty for our soybean farmers is an economically hostile act." Oh, I have to hold up. We got the video. I have video from the Rose Garden. Breaking news. Let's go to the White House Rose Garden right now. Hold on a moment. I'm taking you over to the White House Rose Garden. I just need a second. Give me a moment. We're going there right now. Look, guys, it's the Rose Garden. It's going to be in a second. It's the Rose Garden. Oh, my gosh. Waiting for the ceremony to start. Are they playing music? What's happening? Or is there no sound? I think there might be no sound on this video. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Let me check. I think this video has no sound on it for the moment. But that is the Rose Garden. You can see it's no longer grass in the Rose Garden. It's been covered over with a hard surface, paved over. I am going to turn off the sound for the moment because I think they might be playing copyrighted music. So, hey, at least we got you video. There it is. There's the Rose Garden at the White House, and we are bringing you live coverage. Oops, hold on a second. Byron the Wise says the Rose Patio. I'm going to change this to soon because we have the video now. So I think I can say soon. Now, when it starts, I'll probably shift to the White House feed when it starts. Just so you know, when it actually starts, you may see the camera switch, and you might hear two people speaking for like a few seconds. If that happens, it's because I'm switching the shot. Sometimes I switch the shot to get you the best shot in an audio, so you can hear and see the best. Now, does Reuters have their post up yet or not? Let's see. No. Well, look though, guys. Look at all the people there. Christy Claff thinks it's a glorified patio. Hey, thank you to Yak Diesel. Thank you, Yak Diesel. Sharon Patton says, wow, that's quite a crowd. Bubba Sizemore thinks this is great. Hold on a second. Yak Diesel says, if you want nice things to be said about you when you're gone, do say good things when you're here. Yak Diesel does not think Charlie Kirk is deserving of praise. Yak Diesel is not a Charlie Kirk fan. Thank you, I Am Charlie, for your support as well. I really appreciate it. I Am Charlie. I want to shout out our moderators, too. We have moderating right now over on Twitch. I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3, and Sarah. Thank you so much. Over there on YouTube, Beth Mythical is moderating. Ruth Krafasi is moderating. Linda Belglary and Misha on X. Shannon Davis Hughes. Charlotte Webb. Kayla Everybody. Margaret Riley on Facebook. Thank you. Thanks, Jennifer Ellers, for subscribing on Facebook. Now, let's see here. We're waiting. Oh, the camera's zooming in a little bit. I think the White House feed will have the close-up shot, but we get to see some of the before going on via the AFP footage. Let me check the sound again, see if they're I'm sure they're playing music. They must be playing music. Yeah, they're playing music, so I got to be careful with that. It is interesting to see the Rose Garden with that hard flooring. The White House feed is not live yet. Val Cargo says, God bless Charlie Kirk and his family. Thank you so much for joining our stream. I appreciate you being here as we cover this event. Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika Kirk, is going to be receiving the award on Charlie Kirk's behalf. This award has been given out, well, the first version of it was the Truman administration. Then it received the name it has now in the Kennedy administration. And presidents have given it to people of various fields: politics, journalism, art, music, acting, athletes. According to the Congressional Research Service, the selections often reflect the president's political and personal interests. Oh, thanks, Rage Strike. Hey, Rage Strike, I can only use the video I have the rights to. I pay for the video, so I can't just take every other videos off the web, but I appreciate it. What I can do, though, yes, yeah, so this is the one I have right now. Look at the sun's out. But thank you so much to Rage Strike. Hold on a second here. Thanks, Rage Strike. I appreciate your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, guys, we're getting close. We are getting close, I think. You can see the crowd is there. They're certainly there. They're waiting. I am still in Madrid. So I'm sorry if the broadcast does not sound or look like it normally does, but doing the best we can to bring you news coverage while I am in Madrid. American Foreigner thinks Charlie Kirk is an American hero, an American martyr. All right, the White House feed is now live. So what I need to do is, give me a moment, guys. Give me a moment. Let me just get something. Hang on a moment here. Just give me a moment. Just getting prepared to show you. We have two different feeds. So let me just do this. Okay, that's good. Uh-oh. One moment. Let's see here. Okay, good. We're good to go. What happened to the text? There you go. We should be good to go. Again, I might have to switch the feed at the start to get you the better shot. So please bear with me if I switch the shot early on. I might have to switch it one time. I'll probably end up switching it to the White House feed because it'll probably be a bit of a better shot. I don't know though. Maybe I'll leave it on this shot. We'll see. Hey, it's J.D. Vance. I see J.D. Vance. I really could use some more water. Do you think I have 10 seconds to get water? I think so. I'm going to disappear for 10 seconds to get some more water. All right? So hopefully this doesn't start in the next 10 to 15 seconds. Let me disappear for 15 seconds. Hey, I didn't miss the start of it. Great. All right, guys. We are about to start this ceremony, big ceremony in the White House Rose Garden. President Trump giving the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, to Charlie Kirk, posthumously. John Q. Public, thank you for watching on X. Hey, thanks to NeoTrip. Thank you, NeoTrip. NeoTrip says, how does one side denounce religion, then turn around and say Charlie Kirk is in hell? How does that work? God bless everyone? Hey, thank you, NeoTrip. Some of our viewers commented that they don't see any roses in the rose garden. Shadow government thinks it's starting. Erika Kirk will be receiving the award on Charlie's behalf. We have some different views in our chat about Charlie Kirk. I really appreciate our moderators being there to keep the chat civil and respectful. Thank you to our moderators. It is currently 4:25 Eastern Time. It's not that late. I mean, it's probably going to start soon because we saw J.D. Vance out there. If J.D. Vance is already there, they're probably going to start soon. The official start time was 4. It's now 4:25. Oh, thanks to Bonnie Goodwin for your support. That's really nice of you. Bonnie Goodwin, thanks so much, Bonnie. Really kind of you. One of our viewers posted something about the Rose Garden. I should have mentioned something about it. It borders the Oval Office and the West Wing. It's approximately 100, this is from Wikipedia, it's approximately 125 feet long and 60 feet wide. It is commonly used as a stage for receptions and media events due to its proximity to the White House. Oh, I'm seeing people, it looks like it's about to start. People are taking their seats. People are taking the seats. Now, again, I'll probably switch to the White House feed. I think I'm going to switch to the White House feed. I don't have the sound on right now because they were playing copyrighted music. So I'm going to check and see what they're playing now. I'll check now and see, but I got to be careful with the music. Obviously, now we have sound. Sounds like the music stopped. I'm probably going to switch. I think the White House will have better sound, the White House feed. So I'm going to switch to that. Oh no, I'm still hearing music. They're still playing music. So I'm going to turn the sound off on that, but it certainly looks like it's starting soon. NeoTrip thinks none of the roses were actually touched. They only replaced the large lawn section in the middle. If you look at before and after images online. Thanks, NeoTrip. I haven't done that yet, so I don't know. Thank you so much to NeoTrip. I really appreciate that. As one of our viewers said, thanks to the viewer for mentioning this, the Rose Garden was established in 1913 by Ellen Louise Axon Wilson, the wife of Woodrow Wilson, according to Wikipedia. President Trump this year, says Wikipedia, ordered that the grass of the Rose Garden be replaced with a patio. Stone tiles were laid in a diamond pattern in July of this year. Solar-powered in-ground lighting was also added along the new patio. The first event held in the renovated Rose Garden was September 5th of this year. The guy's adjusting the camera, adjusting the lens. They're still playing music, so I'm turning the audio down. Chris114 says, I thought solar was bad. It's interesting that the Trump administration has not been the biggest supporter of solar energy. So it is interesting that, according to Wikipedia, there's a solar power lighting. Maybe there's a specific reason they have that there in the Rose Garden. Solar-powered in-ground lighting. Hey, thanks. Maybe so you don't need cables or something? I'm not sure. Hey, thanks to Cats Rule. Thank you so much, Cats Rule, for your support. I really appreciate it, Cats Rule. Cody Snyder says, it's unfortunate that this thing is a big trigger for certain people. All right, we're waiting. We're waiting for it to start. I'm waiting along with you. I don't know how many people are going to speak. I mean, President Trump will obviously speak. I'm anticipating that Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, will speak. I do not know if there will be other speakers. I don't know what the ceremony. I mean, it's clearly a quite organized event, but I don't know what the program will be. Yeah, see, they're still playing that music. So I need to turn down the volume for the moment. My guess is he won't take questions at this event. This doesn't seem like a question-taking event. U.S. Rights and Freedom says, nice sunny day at the Rose Garden. Keep an eye on other news as well. Meredith McGraw reports that the song Geds, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, Gethsemane from the musical Jesus Christ Superstar is playing over the loudspeakers in the Rose Garden. Leon thinks that President Trump will talk about yesterday's events in the Middle East. Thank you so much to Sammy G. Sammy G, that's so nice of you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if Charlie Kirk's children will be at this event. That I do not know. It's currently 4:33. I feel like if it starts soon, that's actually not bad for a White House event. Sometimes they're a lot later than a half an hour. This was supposed to start at 4. We have a viewer watching from South Korea. Hamter Krupke thinks that Charlie Kirk's children will be there. Somebody asked about the age of his children. So according to one article I am looking at from several weeks ago, I think it says they're 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Yes, a couple articles say his children are 1 and 3. Ann Walter says, I don't think Charlie's children will be in view of camera if they're, she says, hold on a second here. Amy Clark says, the children have been sheltered from public social media. I doubt their faces will be shown. Ann says, they never let their faces be seen. Mrs. Alabama says Trump has been around the world in 24 hours. Jennifer Jacobs reports that among those in the Rose Garden today includes a lot of prominent people from Washington. J.D. Vance is there, Speaker Johnson is there, Scott Bessent, Secretary of the Treasury, Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Dan Scavino is there. I'm just naming some of them. Marco Rubio, Howard Lutnick, Donald Trump Jr. is there, Steve Scalise, Senator Mike Lee, Senator Rick Scott, Ted Cruz, Judge Jeanine Pirro, Sean Hannity is there, Russ Vought, Doug Burgum, Carolyn Levitt, Katie Miller and Stephen Miller, Pam Bondi is there. Benny Johnson and Jack Posobiec and Laura Ingraham are all there. It looked like it was going to start a few minutes ago. Now it's not. Oh, the White House X account just went live with this. I really think it's going to start soon because the White House X account just went live with it. So I really think it's going to start soon. I think. And a reminder, I'm probably going to switch to the White House feed because I think that'll be a little better for you right when it starts. Annie says the Charlie Kirk show just went live a few minutes ago as well. Sorry I don't have the audio on. They were playing copyrighted music, so I cannot play the copyrighted music. It is what it is, says happy birthday, Charlie Kirk. He would have been 32 today. Thank you, Crypto King, for shouting out our moderators. Thank you so much, Crypto King. Thank you, Crypto King. Appreciate everybody being with us. We are waiting for this ceremony to begin. President Trump to award the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, to Charlie Kirk. This award has been given out since the Kennedy administration. I believe 673 people have gotten it. Oh, thank you, Yak Diesel, for your support. Really appreciate it, Yak Diesel. Presidents have given this award to all types of people. Politicians, diplomats, scientists, athletes, musicians, artists, actors, rights activists, and so on. Thank you, I Am Charlie. Hey, thanks so much, I Am Charlie. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for all your support. Much appreciated. I Am Charlie. Up, people are standing up. Okay, it really looks like they're about to start. Again, I think I'm going to go to the, let me check the sound. Okay.
Erika Kirk.
I may switch the shot in a second, okay? So bear with me if I have to switch the shot. Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, accompanied by Erika Kirk.
Thank you very much, everybody. Please, this is such an honor. This is the, please be seated. This is the first time we've been at the new and improved Rose Garden, and people are loving it. They're loving it like they've not loved a lot of things. We have the Presidential Walk of Fame, which you just saw, and that just opened, and we wanted to get it open for this occasion. We were hoping we were able to get outside, and the weather allowed us to. It was supposed to be a terrible rainy day. I was telling Eric, and God was watching, and he didn't want that for Charlie. He just didn't want that. So it's really beautiful. It couldn't be more beautiful. Today we're here to honor and remember a fearless warrior for liberty, beloved leader who galvanized the next generation like nobody I've ever seen before, and an American patriot of the deepest conviction, the finest quality and the highest caliber, the late, great Charlie Kirk. Five weeks ago, our nation was robbed of this extraordinary champion. He was a champion in every way. I got to know him so well. He didn't like losing, and he was able to fight people that were enemies, and he didn't necessarily love those enemies so much. You know, I heard he loved his enemies, and I said, wait a minute, is that the same Charlie that I know? I'm not sure, but I didn't want to get into it. But it was a horrible, heinous, demonic act of murder. He was assassinated in the prime of his life for boldly speaking the truth, for living his faith and relentlessly fighting for a better and stronger America. He loved this country. And that's why this afternoon it's my privilege to posthumously award Charles James Kirk our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Thank you. As you know, only hours ago, I returned from a very historic trip to secure peace in the Middle East. People said that couldn't be done. Charlie felt it could be done. Charlie felt it could be done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I raced back halfway around the globe. I was going to call Erika and say, Erika, could you maybe move it to Friday? And I didn't have the courage to call. But you know why I didn't call? Because I heard today was Charlie's birthday. And I said, you know, that was a definite. And I said, we're going to have to forget about some of those very big, very rich countries that expected me to be there. And I can tell you, based on the length of that flight, I wouldn't want to go back tomorrow. But I would not have missed this moment for anything in the world, nothing. And it's a very important time for our country, and our country is doing so well. It's never done better. We are a country with almost now $18 trillion of investment coming in. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. Previous administration had less than $1 trillion for 4 years. We have more than 18, it'll be much more than 20 by the time the year, more than $20 trillion. There's never been a country in the world that had anything like that. What's happened to our country is incredible in a short period of time. Charlie was a big person for, sir, can we close up those borders, please, a little bit? You know, they're really leaking badly. I said, Charlie, I haven't gotten there yet. But, you know, it came out the last 4 months. Literally nobody was allowed into our country. And the only people that were allowed in were people that came in legally. The borders are absolutely stone cold closed. And they reported 0, 0, 0, and 0, so that's pretty good. But he was a big believer. He wanted people in the country more than I did, frankly. He wanted them to come in legally, and he got his wish. October 14th is Charlie's birthday, and he should have been turning 32 years old. I tell you, when I first met him, he was like 22, and I said, boy, he's awfully young, but I thought he was older than that, you know. He looked a little bit older than his age. That's okay, you know. That's not good when you're old, but when you're young, it's great. He had the best of all things, but he was special. But instead, Charlie is attaining a far more important milestone. We're entering his name forever into the eternal roster of true American heroes. He's a true American hero, an amazing person, way, way beyond his years. And I'm honored to be joined by a woman who has endured unspeakable hardship with unbelievable strength, and that's Charlie's widow, Erika. And I just want to thank you, Erika. He loved you so much. I was with him. Oh, please. Thank you, darling. Thank you. I was with him before I met Erika, and he told me he was going to get married. He said, you won't believe how beautiful she is. I said, well, then now that I meet her, he's right. But then he also said, and you know what? She's like the smartest person I know. See, they do go together on occasion. Not often. Not often. But on occasion they go together. But he was in love with you. He was deeply in love with you. It's great. Erika, your love and courage have been an inspiration to all of us, and we will always be here for you, and we're always going to be here for your gorgeous, beautiful children, and we'll never forget what your family has sacrificed for our country. Man loved our country. When things were going badly for our country, he was so, as you know, angry. He would get angry because he said it doesn't have to be that way. We're also pleased to be joined by an incredible group of Charlie's friends, very powerful friends, actually, and some not so powerful, and they're actually better people, okay? I know them all. They're the less powerful ones. I have to tell you that, all of you power guys down here. The best ones in the group are the ones that are less successful, but that happens too. No, they're all great, and they're here. And let's start with Erika's father. Where is Erika's father? Where are you? Where are you, Dad? Oh, look at him. Wow. I want to get a hat like that, too. I like that. How are you? Nice to see you again. Thanks as well to Vice President J.D. Vance, who's been fantastic. J.D., thank you very much. Great. Doing a great job. Did a great job on Sunday with George Slopadopoulos. I thought put him away pretty good. Second lady, who's a phenomenal woman, Usha Vance. Thank you very much, Usha. Thank you very much. Great woman. President of Argentina. He wanted to be here. That's Argentina's a serious flight, right? And he's become a superstar, and he's doing amazing things. He's a MAGA person, but it's make Argentina great again. That's what he does, right? And I want you to stand, please, Javier Milei. Doing a great job. Thank you very much. Many members of my cabinet are here. Just about all of them are here. I won't go into every single one of them, but I'll announce a few of the people that have really turned this country around and helped me. Incredible people. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Where is Mike? Mike, what a job you're doing, Mike. What a job you're doing. And I watched you this morning, and you're in there trying to say, look, just let the country open. Everything will be fine. We're dealing with some radical left lunatics. And I just wish Charlie was here to fight us. I think the fight would have been over already. He would have had a march on the Capitol by people whose average age is about 21, because there's nobody that had that relationship with young people. Right, Mike? So thank you, Mike, for being here. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. Steve, thank you very much. A brave guy and a friend. House Majority Whip, another terrific man, Tom Emmer. Tom. Thank you, Tom. Senate Majority Whip, John Barrasso. John, thank you very much. You have all these senators. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm not going to read all their names. I'll be reading all day. We'll be talking about Charlie in about 45 minutes from now. We can't do that. So all of the senators, there's so many of you, thank you very much. I do want to thank Senator Thune for doing a terrific job. He's really been leading properly. Do you agree, Mike? The team, the two of these guys have been fantastic. So to Senator Thune, I want to thank you very much. Incredible job. I watched him this morning, and he was out there pounding them this morning on television, too. And John Barrasso, thank you for the work you've done, and congratulations on your success. But I want to thank you all and all of the Congress people that are here. And I see we have our Attorney General here, and you are doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much, Pam. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have everybody. Wow, that's incredible. Okay, I'm not going to do any more. I'm going to be here too long, but I just want to thank you. Have given him such support, but he always gave you such support. That's why you're here. And very unusual. Charles James Kirk was a visionary and one of the greatest figures of his generation. He was truly an amazing figure and growing leaps and bounds. He knew that the fight to preserve our heritage is waged not only on the battlefield and in the halls of power, of which we have tremendous power here, including the head of a place called War. We call it now War. We had Defense. We had our Secretary of Defense. Now we have a Secretary of War. And somehow I think it's more emblematic, and hopefully we'll never have to use war, but the fact that we're ready is very good. Peace through strength is very important, but also in the hearts of our nation's youth. That's where Charlie rode strongest. At age 18, that insight inspired Charlie to found the organization that ultimately touched the lives of millions and millions of people, and so many young people that nobody's ever seen anything like it, frankly. Turning Point USA. It's amazing, and it's actually bigger now. It's become bigger in the last few weeks than Charlie ever thought. I think his end vision in many years from now would have been just a fraction of what it turned out to be in a couple of weeks, right? It's amazing. With hard work and joyful spirit and endless enthusiasm and determination. And he did have great enthusiasm. You know, I always say you need enthusiasm to be successful. He had great enthusiasm. Charlie grew Turning Point into the largest conservative youth organization in the entire country. He forged a personal bond with countless young conservatives. He fought for free speech, religious liberty, strong borders, and a very strong and proud America. In everything he did, he put America first. He really put America first. And ultimately, Charlie became more than a leader of an important organization. He became the leader of historic movements all over the country. There were movements, individual movements, one movement, but it was historic. Everything he did was historic, and a true evangelist for the cause of freedom and the word of Almighty God. God was very important to Charlie. He would say, you know, if you don't have religion, you're not going to have a strong country. It's true. He was so wise beyond his years. You know, I talk to him sometimes and say, this guy is like a young guy. He was really a wise man. from the time Charlie worked on my presidential campaign in 2016, and he was there right from the beginning. He liked me. I don't know. I have no idea why. What the hell was he thinking? He said, "You're going to win, sir." I said, "You know, I'm running against 17 senators and a lot of tough people and governors. We have all these people." And he said, "No, you're going to win, sir." He said, "Not going to be close." And he made it happen. He helped make it happen, I'll tell you that. Without him, who knows what would be. Maybe you'd have Kamala standing here today. That would not be good. I will tell you, Javier, you don't know who Kamala is. Promise, it would not be good. You agree with that, Howard? He also mobilized countless citizens to go vote. It's called Go Vote. Very simple. And with his help in 2024, we won more young people than any Republican by far in the history of our country. And we won the popular vote. We won the swing states, all 7 of them. Remember, they said, "Oh, well, if Trump could win 4, that would be nice." I win 7 by a lot, by a landslide. But the popular vote was massive. And we won the Electoral College. Remember, they said, "Well, it's going to be very hard." I'd say 270. Well, we got 312 to 226. And then we won something called districts and councils and different things. But in one case, we won 2,750 to 525. That's the one where you see the map is almost entirely red, except they have a little blue line on one side and a little blue line, meaning New York and a little bit Los Angeles. I have a feeling that if the vote were 100%, we would have won that too. You want to know the truth. But he knew, and he knew very well, and he also understood honesty, and he was always concerned with honesty. He said the only way we can lose is if the cheating gets so bad, and that's where we came up with a little phrase, "too big to rig." We said, go out and vote. Just go out and vote. And we had that. Remember, we used to say that all the time because people would say, "Oh, they're going to win. We don't have to vote. Let's go to a movie. We'll come home and watch later." And he wasn't about that. So we come up to, together, we came up with that phrase, "We got to make it too big." I never made a speech where I didn't say at the end, "Now look, the polls are showing good. Don't believe the polls." He said, "We're going to make it," Susie, right? "Too big to rig. So if you think we're going to win by a lot, doesn't matter. Pretend we're losing. You got to go out and vote." They voted. And at 9:02, the whole thing was over, right? 9:02. Remember, they said, "Oh, this could go a few days." Well, it went a few minutes. 9:02. And he knew that. And I felt it, but he knew it. He knew it. I think he knew it more than anybody. But Charlie never missed an opportunity to remind us of the Judeo-Christian principles of our nation's founding or to share his deep Christian faith. In his final moments, Charlie testified to the greatness of America and to the glory of our Savior, with whom he now rests in heaven. And he is going to make heaven. I said, "I'm not sure I can make it, but he's going to make it." He's there. He's looking down on us right now. It's so incredible. Look at this, how this turned out. This was supposed to be so dark and cloudy. Not dark and cloudy, is it? Look at that, how beautiful that is. There's no artist that can capture it as beautiful as it is today. Wow, it's amazing. As I said, on the day that he was assassinated, Charlie Kirk was a martyr for truth and for freedom. And from Socrates to think, and to St. Peter, from Abraham Lincoln to Martin Luther King, those who change history the most, and he really did, have always risked their lives for causes they were put on earth to defend. He was put on earth to do exactly what he was doing. He didn't want to waste time. He would have been a top student at any college in the country. I know the college as well. He's smarter than the guys there. He was so smart. But he almost, I guess, didn't have the time. He knew what he wanted to do. It wasn't like, "Gee, I want to sit in the classroom for 4 years listening to people teach me liberal principles," because they were never going to teach him that anyway. But he didn't have the time. He really didn't have the time. But every time the enemies of goodness and virtue tried to silence the voice of righteous and noble leaders like Charlie, they failed. They seem to fail. Ultimately, they look like they're doing well, and then they end up failing because the truth has been unrelenting over the years, over history. And people like Charlie, it's just they've got a power that others don't have and very few people will ever have. So today, like those martyrs before him, Charlie's voice, his message, and his legacy are stronger and greater than ever before. They are greater than ever before. Look, this is a horrible event, but it brought out the greatness of Charlie. Nothing could have ever supplanted this. It's incredible, the way people are talking about him. And with great love. I mean, I read so many stories about some of the enemies, but I watch the enemies, and it's hard for them to speak badly about him because they just don't. And then you do have people in the days since Charlie's killing. We've seen exactly why our country so dearly needed his example. We've watched legions of far-left radicals resort to desperate acts of violence and terror because they know that their ideas and arguments are persuading no one. They know that they're failing. They have the devil's ideology, and they're failing, and they know it. They feel it, and they become violent. They seem to become very violent on the left. They've rammed vehicles into federal law enforcement, fired sniper rifles at ICE agents, and me, you know. But I made a turn at a good time. I turned to the right. Charlie couldn't believe it, actually. He said, "How the hell did you make that turn?" I said, "I don't know." But fired rifles and threatened the lives of our Supreme Court justices, our great justices. They have to be protected. We just issued a lot of money, $60 million, to protect the Supreme Court justices. Very important. We can't let anything happen. In places of worship, we're protecting our people. We've seen that a candidate for Attorney General in Virginia boasted that he would want to see the Republican legislature, a legislator in Virginia, shot in the head and to see his children murdered. He actually said this. And now he continues to run for office, and most people continue to back him, but he said he wants his man shot. He said shot in the head and to see his children murdered. And they keep running. Pretty amazing, right? That's a bad one. Let's see how that turns out, but that's a really bad one. Nobody's heard that one before. Especially in the wake of Charlie's assassination, our country must have absolutely no tolerance for this radical left violence, extremism, and terror. We're done with the angry mobs, and we're not going to let our cities be unsafe. We're going to make sure our cities are safe. When you have Chicago, where they had 4,000 people murdered over a very short period of time, 4,000 people, and then we have a governor stand up and say, "Oh, things are going swimmingly." No, they're not. We're going to make Chicago safe, just like we're going to make. Look what we did in D.C. It's so nice that we started here, because this was one of the most violent places in the United States. It'd be dangerous to be right out here. But you couldn't go to a restaurant. The restaurants were all dying. The whole place was dying. You'd have these gorgeous, look at the Washington Monument over there. You'd have these gorgeous buildings and monuments and structures. And people were afraid to leave their apartment. They were afraid to go to work. They'd get into an Uber, and they'd feel safe, and then the Uber would be attacked. They thought they made it to safety, and then the Uber was attacked on the trip in. But we've done a great job, and now it's considered a totally safe city. We haven't had problems. It took us 12 days to make it great. We took out, Pam, 1,700 hard criminals, career criminals in many cases, but these are hardened criminals. Many of them came in through the Biden open borders. We brought them back to the countries. And a couple were so violent that we put them in jail. We don't want to take a chance that they could get back in, because no matter how good we do, somebody can sneak in. They were so violent and so bad. One arrested 28 times. Every time he left prison, he'd get into a violent incident. 28 times. And we put him away for a long time. But we're done with the angry mobs. We're done with it. This is such an unbelievable place right now. You take a look where you can walk down the middle of the street with your wife or your husband. Your children can walk. They can walk alone. It doesn't matter. They can walk anywhere in Washington, and they're safe now. If this were a year ago, they'd have a serious chance of being badly hurt, even killed. They'd come in from Indiana, they'd come in from Iowa, they'd come from Florida to see their nation's capital, and somebody would have to call the parents, I'm sorry, but your son or your daughter's been killed. Not anymore. You hear those sirens going off? That's good. That's a good sound. That means they either got the bad guy or they're going to stop the bad guy. You didn't hear that sound because nobody wanted to do anything. Nobody. Listen to the beauty of that sound. Seriously. And that's the real deal sirens. They're not politically correct sirens. You hear them, they're about 3 miles away. That's great. What a beautiful sound. They're stopping crime. That's what they're doing. So we're done with the voices of fools. They're fools. And death threats, and we're going to make our cities safe. And I thought it was Charlie's, one of his biggest dreams was that. He couldn't believe it. Chicago's going to be a great city again. We've already, we sent people in there 6 months ago, and this governor said, well, crime is down. Yeah, that's because we had the FBI in there for 6 months, just preparing it for the bigger surge. And they've done a great job, the cash and the FBI. They've done a great job, and they love doing it, They love being able to do it. They were restricted from doing it. They couldn't do anything. And now they're totally unrestricted. All they have to do is stop crime, and they're doing it. By the way, Memphis, as you know, you heard they went in about a week ago, one of the most dangerous places in the country. It's really in the world. It's not just the country. They have very few cities that would compare to some of these cities. You go to Afghanistan, you say, oh, that's unsafe. Well, the crime numbers are much better than the crime numbers in places that we have. So Memphis, I understand, is doing unbelievably in 1 week. It's like a different place. And this took 12 days, and then after that, we just perfected it. But after 12 days, we had good safety here. After 1 month, it's like, it's really amazing. And by the way, restaurants are booming. Restaurants are opening up. The big problem we have, you can't get into a restaurant in D.C. anymore. So they're opening up. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's called safety. It's called law enforcement and letting them do their job. And that's why I said last month that I have directed the Attorney General and the Department of Homeland Security to confront the very real threat of left-wing terrorism in our country. It's a real threat. Not when you confront it, it's not, because they're not brave people. In fact, they're cowards. When you confront them, they immediately fold. You have to see them fold. You have to see them crying. They fold. But it includes dismantling the networks that fund them and finance them, and we're finding out who those networks are. We already know quite a few of them. When you see these violent incidents, and then you see people holding this gorgeous sign with beautiful wood, beautiful cardboard, wood, everything's perfect paint job, and they're all the same. There are thousands of them. You know that they weren't made in the basement out of love. They were made by anarchists, and in some cases wealthy. I'll probably find some of my nice friends that are up there being so nice to me, especially lately. They're being very nice. But it surprises you who they may be, and you almost wonder, why would they do it? But they're hurting our country, and we're really taking it back one by one. If we didn't go into Los Angeles early on in the administration, the commissioner, the chief of police, Los Angeles, said if they didn't go in, we would have lost our city. Now, they already lost 25,000 houses to fire because they wouldn't let the water come in from the Pacific Northwest, which they should have done. I said, you better do it. They didn't do it, and we had 25,000 homes where they had no water in their sprinklers, they had no water in the fire hydrants. It would have been a different kind of a thing if they did what they were supposed to do. We had to break in. We broke in and had the water come down. They said for the environment, great, they lost 25,000 houses. It's incredible. But the commissioner said without the federal government and President Trump's intervention, we would have lost the entire city. And we have the Olympics going there soon. I got the Olympics. We have the Olympics. We have the World Cup. And we have, most importantly, we have the 250th anniversary of our country. That's going to be most important. And all of these things are happening. And we're going to have safe cities. We're going to have very, very safe cities. So 1 month after Charlie's death, we still feel the terrible shock and the pain of his loss, like just about nobody I can think of. Charlie Kirk was one of a kind. He was unstoppable. And he really was. Boy, when he had an idea in his head, oh, he was he would call me, "Sir, please, you haven't done it yet." I said, "Charlie, relax. Just relax." He didn't relax. He'd call me the next day again. It got it done. But he was like indomitable and always will be. He's really irreplaceable. Nobody can replace him. But they're going to do great. But you can't replace that kind of person and that kind of talent, frankly. The word talent is an important word, but that kind of talent. So we hold his memory in our hearts forever. Every single day of this administration, we will continue to carry out the mission for which he lived, and he really did. He lived for this country. He lived for his wife and his family, but he lived for this country too. In Charlie's honor, we will continue like we have been to fight, 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 and to win, win, win. We're going to win so much. So the Presidential Medal of Freedom is a big deal. You have the Congressional Medal of Honor, military, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is civilian. And the Presidential Medal of Freedom is a really big deal. Very few people get it. Very few people, frankly, qualify. It's a decision of the president, but it's a qualification that's a very hard one to get. And I would like to ask, if I might, the military aide to read Charles James Kirk's citation for the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom is awarded to Charles James Kirk. Accepting on behalf of Charlie is his wife, Mrs. Erika Kirk. Charlie Kirk was one of the most influential American political figures of his generation. At just 18 years old, he founded Turning Point USA and grew it into the largest conservative youth organization in the nation. For over a decade, he tirelessly traveled the country, leading a movement to restore respect for our founding principles, reawaken our national identity, and inspire a renewed spirit of religious devotion. He was one of the great debaters and communicators of his time. Despite receiving repeated threats, he remained undeterred and modeled courage, logic, humor, and grace to the next generation. On September 10th, 2025, at age 31, Charlie Kirk was assassinated while addressing a group of students. The United States honors him as a martyr for truth and freedom.
Thank you, Mr. President, for honoring my husband in such a profound and meaningful way. And thank you for making this event a priority amid the peace process in the Middle East. Thank you. Very grateful. Charlie always admired your commitment to freedom, and that's something that both of you shared. So thank you. Of our family and the work that Charlie devoted his life to will be something I cherish forever, so thank you. To our gracious First Lady in her office for making this event possible, thank you as well. It's beautiful. To Vice President and the lovely Usha Vance, your friendship has been an unbelievable encouragement. Thank you. And to all our friends and family that are here and watching from all around the world, thank you for loving us. Thank you for praying for us and for believing in what Charlie believed in. And to our Turning Point USA staff and the Charlie Kirk Show staff, we love you more than you could ever know. And to the Turning Point USA chapters that are watching all across America right now, you are the heartbeat of this future and of this movement. Everything that Charlie built, you guys are the legacy holders of that. You are living proof that his mission did not die with him. It lives through you. And Charlie always said the next generation will decide whether freedom endures. And because of you, I know that freedom will endure. It will. And today we're gathered not only to celebrate Charlie's birthday, but to honor a truth that he gave his entire life to defend, and that's freedom. The very existence of the Presidential Medal of Freedom reminds us that the national interest of the United States has always been freedom. Our founders etched it into the preamble of our Constitution, and those words are not relics on parchment. They are a living covenant. The blessings of liberty are not man's invention, they are God's endowment. Charlie lived for those blessings, not as abstract words, but as sacred promises. He used to love to journal about this topic all the time, and with such a heart postured of gratitude. And he believed that liberty was both a right and a responsibility. And he used to say, freedom is the ability to do what is right without fear. And that's how he lived. He was free from fear. He was free from compromise, free from anything that could enslave his soul. His name, Charles, literally means free man. And that's exactly who my husband was. He was a free man. And from the time I met him, sitting across from him, being interviewed on politics and philosophy and theology, anything that Charlie loved, any topic he loved, and I just saw the fire in his soul, and there was this divine restlessness within him that came from knowing God placed him on this earth to protect something very, very sacred for all of us. And he never stopped fighting for people to experience freedom. He didn't. Charlie often said that without God, freedom becomes chaos. And he believed liberty could only survive when anchored to truth. And I remember in one of his speeches, he told the audience that the opposite of liberty isn't law. He said it's captivity. And that the freest people in the world are those whose hearts belong to Christ. But what's so powerful is that Charlie had the ability to communicate so brilliantly across all generations. And he reminded us that in a world that tells us freedom is doing whatever you want to do, the real freedom is the power to live freely and to do what is right. And in one of his journal entries, he wrote that he wanted everyone to know that you can't have liberty without moral responsibility. Freedom divorced from faith eventually just destroys itself. And what's so fascinating about all of this is looking back these past 12 years of Turning Point USA and his mission, there's almost this veil of sacredness Because what I realized is that while he was building an organization, he was also building a movement, one that called people back to God, back to truth, and a movement that was filled with courage. And ironically, for a man who impacted millions, Charlie never desired to be the center of attention. He just wasn't. My husband was not a man of extravagance. He loved simple but deeply meaningful things, truly. He loved his late night walks. He loved buying more books than he could ever read because he felt there was no such thing as a book budget. And he loved being able to read to our kids the same bedtime story on repeat because he knew it was their favorite. But to him, that was special. And he loved to sit in the sun on a Saturday morning with his cup of decaf coffee, and his phone was off because he was honoring the Sabbath. And for him, it was that moment to catch his breath and just be in peace because he was unreachable at the moment. And he preferred quiet birthdays. But that never stopped me from telling him. I told him every single year, I said, baby, I love your birthday. I said, because it's the day that God knew the world couldn't go another day without you. And so the rhythm of our usual birthday celebration for him was mint ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream. He only had it twice a year, on his birthday and 4th of July. It's just, and then after that, it was back to work as usual. But last year, his one birthday wish was to see the Oregon Ducks play the Ohio State. And they won. Oregon won that night. And it was by far one of the most memorable nights of his birthday experience of his life until today. And so, honestly, President Trump, I have spent 7.5 years trying to find the perfect birthday gift for Charlie. And it's so difficult. And those of you that have spouses or loved ones, you know how difficult it is sometimes to buy a gift for someone that you love, because he wasn't a materialistic man, so that also did not help. But now I can say with confidence, Mr. President, that you have given him the best birthday gift he could ever have.
Thank you.
It's such an honor and the recognition of a life lived for defending freedom. And that's what Charlie fought for until his last breath. And it was written across his chest in those final moments on one of his simple t-shirts that always carried a message, and this one bearing a single word, freedom. That was the banner over his life, and that shirt was a declaration. The same declaration he made in every speech, every campus visit, every time he shared the gospel at a church, every sleepless night that he would spend praying for the youth of this nation and planning for the future of our country, and just impressing upon them that when we defend liberty, we defend the soul of our nation. My husband never told anyone what to say. He never did. He never told anyone what to say. He would just encourage them to think. He would encourage them to think outside of the traditional political labels. He would want them to think in a way that was anchored in wisdom and truth. But he would never tell anyone what to say. Charlie wasn't content to simply admire freedom. He wanted to multiply it. He wanted to multiply freedom. He wanted young people to taste it and to understand it and defend it. He wanted them to see that liberty isn't self-indulgence, it's self-governance under God. He wanted them to see that. And every day I'd see him getting ready for work. He'd put on his cross necklace, he'd put his ring on his finger. And the boldness in his demeanor was always fearlessness. He wasn't afraid. He was never afraid. In his daily actions, whether in office or on campus or at a church, it was always without fear. That was his creed. That is how he lived out every single day. He didn't fear being slandered. He did not. He didn't fear losing friends, I can tell you that. He didn't. He didn't care. He stood for truth and stood for freedom, and he did not, everything else was just noise to him. And it's because his confidence in Christ was absolute. That's why. There was no limit to what he would have sacrificed to defend freedom for all. And if the moment had come, he probably would have run for president, but not out of ambition. He would only have done it if that was something that he believed that his country needed from a servant's heart standpoint. And Charlie lived only 31 short years. No, he's 32, but on this side of heaven, but he lived. He lived every single second he lived. He filled every single day with purpose, and he fought for truth when it was unpopular. And he stood for God when it was costly, but that's what we're called to do. Surprisingly enough, he did pray for his enemies, which is very hard, but he did. He did. He did. No one else, I mean, I saw him do it. No, he never did it in front of anyone else, but I can attest to that. But he also loved people when it was inconvenient. And he ran his race with endurance, and he kept the faith. And now he wears the crown of a righteous martyr. And for me and for our children, the truth really steadies our grief, because heaven gained what earth could no longer contain. A free man made fully free. And to all watching, this is not a ceremony. This is a commissioning. And my message is simple. I want you to be the embodiment of this medal. I do. I want you to free yourself from fear. I want you to stand courageously in the truth. Listen for the still, small voice of God. And remember that while freedom is inherited in this country, each of us must be intentional stewards every single day. God began a mighty work through my husband, and I intend to see it through. And the torch is in our hands now. It's in mine, it's in yours, it's in all of yours. It's in all the students with Turning Point USA. And before I close, I'll share with you that I asked our daughter what she would like to say to Daddy for his birthday. Excuse me. She said, "Happy birthday, Daddy. I want to give you a stuffed animal. I want you to eat a cupcake with ice cream, and I want you to go have a birthday surprise. I love you," is what she said. And while our son is precious, he can't yet speak, in classic Kirk family fashion, his actions spoke louder than his words, and his gift to you, Charlie, and myself for that matter, was deciding to become the man of the house and be fully potty trained at 16 months. But Charlie, baby, I know that you're celebrating in heaven today, but gosh, I miss you. We miss you. And we love you, and we promise we'll make you proud. And Charlie's life was proof that freedom is not a theory, it's a testimony. He showed us that liberty begins not in the halls of power, but in the man of a heart surrendered to God. And so today, as we honor Charlie with this incredible Presidential Medal of Freedom on his birthday, I stand here with tears and just a humbled heart and spirit, because his story reminds us all that to live free is the greatest gift, but to die free is the greatest victory. Happy birthday, my Charlie. Happy Freedom Day. God bless you.
That might be the end of the event. I'm waiting to see. We'll see if anybody else speaks. That was Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika Kirk. So, turn it down a little bit. There you go. So, all right. So that was an emotional, unsurprisingly emotional, Erika Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk. And we saw Trump give the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Charlie Kirk. So I want to take some of your comments on the year. Our viewer, Teresa, says nothing else really needs to be said. Kept the ceremony simple. President Trump spoke. The statement about the award was read, and then Erika Kirk spoke. Oh, you know what? I can actually show you something though. I still have a camera available from the event. So let me just go back to the other camera. Okay, hold on a moment. I'm going to send you over to the other camera, which I still have. I still have the other camera. Here it is right here. So that is the other camera, which is still at the event. But the White House has ended their stream. So we'll just see. Keep an eye on this. Let me put the volume up a little bit here. One moment. I think what will probably happen is maybe the song will stop playing and then they'll leave. That's what it seems like. And we'll take some more comments from you guys. Susie Q says, God bless. Was it Charlie and Erika that Susie Q said? Pitter Thad Patter said, great job, Erika. Steph Brunk thought she saw Barron Trump there. I'm not sure if Barron Trump was there. Okay, hold on a second here. Hold on. Okay, so President Trump just saying, greeting people now. Neo Trip said, sadly, to children pay the biggest price. Yes, Charlie Kirk's 2 children are 1 and 3 years old. He was killed on September 10th, I believe, a month and 4 days ago. Thank you, Neo Trip. Jason Parker says, I feel sorry for the kids. One of our viewers said, not Barron. I haven't seen Barron Trump there, but I don't know if he's there. A number of members of the cabinet are there, which President Trump spoke about. So we're just keeping an eye on this right now, just to see, since I have the camera, keeping an eye on it to see what we see. And then there's some pictures being taken there as well, as you can see. Yeah, I believe Charlie Kirk's parents are there. Didn't President Trump say that? So I don't know if that's who he's speaking with right now. There's Erika there too. Yeah, I believe that's Charlie Kirk's father on the left. There's President Trump. He is talking there to the Argentinian president who visited the White House today. There's J.D. Vance, we see on the left. I see Marco Rubio as well, right there. I see Scott Bessent as well. There's Scott Bessent on the right. There's Don Jr. on the right as well. The president and Erika Kirk are now walking towards the White House. And I believe Charlie Kirk's parents are walking towards the White House. And there they go. I see Don Jr. walking into the White House, J.D. Vance, and others. Yeah, the ceremony ended, but I was showing this video that we had to just see what was happening. Very much appreciate all of our mods who have been here with us. Beth Mythical is over there modding right now, and Ruth Krafasi on YouTube. On Twitch. Oh, hold on a second. 13 Alamo, Bastion Girl, Big Ball of Yarn, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai, 3 Sarah, Riff Tracks, and Surly Dev, Linda Belk, Larry, Misha on X. Oh, Trump came out again, I think. Did he pop out there again? Margaret Riley, Charlotte Webb, Shannon Davis Hughes over there on Facebook. No, more music. There's Don Jr. on the right. Well, we'll stay on this a little while longer, just see what we see. The camera is zooming in. A quick thank you to Rita Fuchs. Thank you very much, Rita Fuchs. Thank you. I appreciate it. Also, Neotrip, Shackled Text, I Am Charlie, Lewis R, Mama 457 Roads, Abby, Sammy G, Kevin Milligan, I Am Charlie, and Sherry, thank you. Oh, there's Trump again. Trump came back out. See, now he's talking to other people. There he is. I believe Charlie Kirk's parents are inside at this point. Did the music finally end? Or are they going to play some more? I don't know. We'll keep the video going for a moment. Nope, more music. Again, I very much appreciate all of you joining us for this event today. If I have the information right, I believe Charlie Kirk is the 674th person to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which started being given out in the John F. Kennedy administration. I think we just saw President Trump's assistant Walt Nauta walk out. Camera focusing on Trump. Karen Haynes says it would be nice if the White House organized a small dinner for the entire family. Maybe there is some dinner going on there tonight. That I don't know. James A. says, any lip readers? I wonder if this is the kind of thing that other countries, they watch and they try to figure out what he's saying. I mean, I would assume that countries do that with other countries' leadership, if they can get a hold of the footage. There's Don Jr. Teresa says, I'm sure there will be some kind of meal. Oh, you can't see me. Sorry. I'm off the screen. I didn't realize I was off the screen. Well, I took myself off so you could see the video. All right, that song ended. Are they going to play another song? I don't know if they've cleared out the Rose Garden at this point. Bonus video, post-ceremony video coverage. Trump is still out there. Oh, the camera just went dark. All right, we lost our feed. That is it. Guys, I'm going to start wrapping up the stream now, but again, I really appreciate you being here for our live coverage of the Presidential Medal of Freedom Awards ceremony. I remember being on a month and 4 days ago when the shocking shooting happened. And so we've been covering this since then, on and off when things happen. I wanted to cover today's ceremony. But I appreciate everybody joining the broadcast. And again, a huge thanks to the moderators. We had people who were fans of Charlie Kirk and not fans of Charlie Kirk in our chat, and I do appreciate that people can come together and watch and discuss things civilly and respectfully, but that's thanks to our moderators who are there in the chat. So thanks, moderators. So it is 11:48 p.m. where I am. I am still in Madrid for a little while longer, but if there's more big news tonight or in the coming days, I will certainly jump on the air and cover it. So subscribe and follow Agenda Free TV if you'd like. We cover all kinds of live breaking news without Agenda Free TV. And I will post updates about the news on my X account as well, which I do regularly. That is at Lookner on X. You can follow me over there if you'd like, which is, as you can see, at Lookner on X. That's where I will post about breaking news. And I would also suggest, if you don't want to miss a stream, sign up for our free notifications. I never know when big news is going to happen, but we have a free notification system. You sign up once, you get sent a notification whenever we go live. It works really great. We do it through Discord. The mods will post a link to sign up for the free notifications in the chat. Also, if you go to the description of this video on YouTube or Facebook, you will find the notifications link there. So sign up for those. And by the way, thank you so much to Jennifer Whittington, our member, and Michael Burmester for the membership. Thank you, Michael Burmester, and for being a member. And I want to shout out our moderators again. Oh, thanks also to Matthew Kohai 3 for the gift sub, and also a Stoic Pause over on Twitch, and S Stern 42 on Twitch, and Weepy Voice Killer and Cece on Twitch for your support. A little behind because the event happened. So I want to thank a couple people. Daddy666 Coda on Twitch as well. Thank you. And thanks so much again to our moderators. Again, they're the reason that we can even have chat rooms here on the channel, and they're the ones keeping everything under control there. Over on Twitch, 13 Alamo, Bastion Girl, Big Ball of Yarn, Cerrero, Good Luck Duck, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3, Sarah, Riff Track, Surly Dev, and Tariag, and all of our other Twitch mods. Thank you so much. Ruth Krafasi over there on YouTube, Beth Mythical, and all of our YouTube moderators. Thank you. Linda Belk, Larry, Misha on X, Charlotte Webb, Margaret Riley, Shannon Davis Hughes on Facebook. Huge thanks. And thanks to everybody who supports the channel. That's what allows the channel to exist. So I really appreciate your support. I think I hopefully thanked everybody during the broadcast and didn't miss anyone. Sorry if I did. Oh, hold on. I did. Kristen McConnell Gates. Thank you for the Facebook stars, Kristen McConnell Gates. And hey, another way to keep up with the channel, know when we're going live. For those on X, follow us on X at Agenda Free TV. I always post there before we go live. I post updates about the channel there at Agenda Free TV. We do have a live chat where you can chat with other viewers when we're not on the air. The Discord chat, a lot of our viewers like doing that. That's also free. The link to the Discord chat is the same link as the free notifications link. So check out our Discord chat. Also, thanks so much to the Discord moderators for all you do. And I also want to mention, if you are watching on YouTube or you watch us on YouTube, I would certainly suggest turning on the YouTube notifications. It can be a little bit tricky to do that. So the YouTube notifications, what you need to do is you need to subscribe to the channel. Oops, I'll show you here. If you want to turn on the YouTube notifications, you need to subscribe to the channel, then click the notifications bell. Looks like they changed the bell emoji or whatever it is, the bell icon, and choose all notifications. So subscribe, click the bell, and choose all notifications. If you are already subscribed, make sure you have the bell clicked and you've chosen all notifications so you get the notifications. Thank you also to Mr. Joachim 242, who I think is from Sweden. Thank you, Mr. Joachim 242, for your support, and also Rage Strike as well. Very much appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see here. Another quick reminder, while I am here in Madrid for a little while longer, I am doing a few live streams on my personal channel. My personal channel is called Lookner on YouTube and Look Nerd with a D on Twitch. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you can check out my personal channel. We were just live earlier today, actually, for a little bit on my personal channel. But again, that's called Lookner on YouTube and Look Nerd on Twitch. And I want to thank our Facebook subscribers for all of their support, like Robert Real II. Thank you, Robert. Michael Clayton, Jennifer Ellers, Sharon Klassen-Goslin, Chuck Mosca, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley, Shannon Davis Hughes, and all of our other Facebook subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing and supporting the channel. Also on Twitch, our subscribers over there, thanks all of you for supporting. Wall Street, Shaggy, A Stoic Pause, Matthew Kohai 3, CC, S Stern 42, 13 Alamo, I Got That Fire, Weepy Voice Killers, Strong One, did I say A Stoic Pause? I might have said that already, but it's not a problem if I repeat somebody. Daddy666 Coda, thanks for subscribing. Amalian Ascertainment, Fish Tacos, all of our other Twitch subscribers, thank you so much. And our YouTube members, like Evelyn in Maine, CAC813, Crypto King, Joe Hart, American Girl, J.K. Sinar, Jerry Kovacs, Jesse's Girl, Tash Savage, excuse me, Edward Richard, Sydney, sorry, I need to drink a little more. Crypto King, Leslie Ladyhawk, Tubular Mindwave, thanks for being members. Betty Westbrook, Steph Brunk, Waltham, Bluesy Girl, Sea Chase, Owl Hippie, Mama 457 Rose, Northwoods Hiker, DJ Kirk, Red Squirrel 82, Teddy Boy, Louis R, CAC 813, Bluesy Girl, Teresa, JK Sinar, Babs, Orin Quake, sorry if I'm repeating some of these, Val Cargo, Gary Baines. Thank you again, Mr. Joaquim 242 from Sweden. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching from Sweden as well. And all of our other members and our other viewers. Thank you to James A. for watching. Trisha, Old Farm Show. Juliana Martin. Paula Thompson, Lori Hawkins. Samantha Lang, Jake Morgan. And all of our other viewers, thank you so much for watching. Block H, Myrna Wheel, and others. So we're going to wrap this up. You have been watching our live coverage of the award ceremony, President Trump awarding the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Charlie Kirk. If there's big news tonight, we will come on the air and cover it, and we will be covering big news as it develops in the future. That is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.